All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about how to break out of that social media trance, that scroll hole, and get your focus back in literally just 5 minutes, all backed by science.
You know the feeling, right? You're just scrolling and scrolling through stuff that you don't even find interesting. You feel kind of bored, but you actually can't seem to put your phone down. It's that weird draining feeling where you know you should be doing something else, but you just can't make yourself do it.
Now, the very first thing you need to get is this is not your fault. You are not lazy. This isn't about some failure of willpower. What you're feeling is a completely normal biological reaction to a completely abnormal world we live in.
And it all comes down to this exact feeling: tired but wired. It's a paradox, right? Your body feels totally drained, but your mind is buzzing, just racing from one thing to the next. And thinking about doing a productive task like, say, opening a book or starting a work project, it feels like you're about to climb Mount Everest.
So what is actually going on inside your head? Well, there's a name for it: dopamine fragmentation. Basically, your brain's entire reward system has been kind of hijacked. All that constant, cheap, easy novelty you get from apps has rewired your brain to expect a new little hit every single second. And that makes the normal pace of real life feel, painfully boring.
Just look at this comparison, because it lays it all out perfectly. Our brains evolved for a world where something new, like a sound in the bushes, was rare and super important. And our reward, our dopamine, came from real achievements. But on social media, novelty is everywhere. It's constant. It's cheap. The reward is just the next post. So our baseline isn't calm focus anymore. It's just constant overstimulation.
And this chart right here, this is the result. All those tiny little dopamine spikes have jacked up your brain's reward threshold. The stimulation from scrolling is way up here, so the reward you'd get from reading a book or doing some work, it doesn't even move the needle. It feels physically boring because the bar for what feels interesting has been set impossibly high.
So, and this is the most important part, we're not going to fight this with willpower. Okay, that's a losing battle every single time. Instead, we're going to use a couple of smart biological signals to tell our nervous system, hey, the emergency is over, it's safe to power down and reset.
So here's our game plan. This is the 4-step biological reset. It's a really simple sequence that's designed to calm you down, break your focus on the screen, and gently guide your brain back to a place where it can actually concentrate. Let's start with number 1.
Okay, step 1. And hey, you can do this with me right now. It's called a physiological sigh. So take a deep breath in through your nose. And then when you think you're full, sneak in one more little sip of air right at the top. Got it? Now, exhale through your mouth as slowly as you possibly can. That's not just some relaxing breath. It's a powerful biological signal that dumps carbon dioxide and immediately tells your brain to dial down the high alert state.
All right, next up, we've got to break the tunnel vision. You know how when you stare at a screen, the rest of the world just kind of vanishes? That physically narrow focus keeps your brain in a state of stress. So look up from your device, right now. Find and name 3 things at the very edge of your vision, way out in your periphery. Then find something far away, out a window maybe, and just stare at it for 10 seconds. You are literally telling your brain that the world is bigger and safer than that tiny glowing rectangle.
Okay, on to step 3. Let's tackle a huge question. Why does it feel so impossible to start that big, important task when you're feeling this way? It's not just you being lazy. There is a real biological reason for that feeling of resistance.
And here's the reason. Your brain literally perceives a big, vague task as a threat to its precious energy. It's trying to protect you. So we need to bypass that threat alarm. And we do that by giving it a cheat code, a tiny, easy reward that creates momentum.
We call these micro-completions, and the key here is they have to be almost laughably small. I'm not talking clean the kitchen. I'm talking put 1 dish in the dishwasher, or just write a single sentence, or send 1 easy email. This gives you a clean hit of dopamine that's tied to real progress, not just empty scrolling. That little feeling of I did it is what shatters the cycle.
And now for the final step. I'm not going to lie, this one can feel like the hardest, but it is absolutely the most critical part of the whole reset. You're going to set a timer for 2 minutes and just sit with intentional boredom. Put your phone in another room. Just sit there. It's going to feel a little weird, a little uncomfortable. But you know what that discomfort is? That's the feeling of your dopamine system resetting its baseline. That's your brain healing itself. So let's wrap all this up with a really powerful thought. You know those people who seem to have endless focus and discipline?
They're not superhuman. They're just people who have figured out how to work with their biology instead of constantly fighting against it. They've built these tiny little resets into their day, so it all just happens automatically.
Look, this isn't about transforming your entire life in one day. It's not about becoming some productivity guru overnight. The only thing that matters right here and right now is this single question. Are you ready to use this simple biological reset to win the next 5 minutes?